Today's an exciting day here in Maleny and right here in the Maleny precinct as we're another milestone, another celebration of the bringing to life Pattemore House. We're celebrating the completion of the picket fence, the lovely arbour behind me here, and of course the clothesline, and I'm sure you've all observed a couple of very old items on the clothesline, but also the significance of where we're standing here today as far as the path, the times when the old families were photographed here in front of the old building. But more importantly, it's about the volunteers and it's about opening up this another opportunity here on the Sunshine Coast to see and understand a part of the Maleny history, but also formed a part of the history of the Sunshine Coast. And there's nothing more important than having some physical, some storytelling, something that actually engages people from the young right through to the old. We can be more passionate in the senior years about what used to be, but it's about triggering the imagination of the younger people today to understand what really set the footprint, what set the brick, the building stones here in Maleny. This was an old dairy site. How successful today is Maleny Dairies, being named as an Australian first choice of the people for milk. And that's just a story that flows from properties like this.
We see Pattemore House or Fairview simply as a lens, as what was happening in Maleny at the time when all these families were here working and dairying and going to school and going about their ordinary tasks. But it's a great reminder to us all of how things used to be. We're very lucky in having a lot of Pattemores still in the district, and they are very willing to talk. I can tell you, if you interview them, it's at least 3 morning teas later, and we will have a very good story from the Pattemore family. But also there were the families in the middle era, the share farming families who came here in the 50s. They have a great story to tell too about their dairying time here and what happened in their families. And the last family to live here, the Armstrong family, they still come here. They come here with their grandchildren to this day, and they have a great story to tell. They were the last family before council owned the building, the property, and they ran it as a going dairy farm. It's one of the few remaining Pittsthorn residences in its entirety left in the district, and it's a great example of how ingenuity and necessity at the time of the turn of the century meant that you could build a house if you were prepared to work hard. And 4 strapping lads built this house for their parents, who at 56, the parents were considered elderly in 1907. We've got a wonderful display of their tools inside and some great photographs of the saw pit that they actually employed to create all the timber that you see here was all done by hand.
And of course this is a heritage site. Any work that is done here, that all had to be documented so that history will into the future tell of what they found here on the site. We also are in the land of the Jinnabara people. So the Jinnabara people have been very connected to this site here as they've looked for artefacts that may have pertained to their history also.
We've made it our business to collect these stories and put them together and present them back to the public in a way that makes sense, that has a context of Maleny's wider history.